Hello, everybody. It's spooky season, and I wanted to maybe just get like a little weird, talk about something nobody likes to talk about, especially my husband. Us ever-changing beings, us women in our 40s, that nobody knows what to make of. Not even ourselves, not even our friends, and it's all about just at this time it's a lot different, and I think part of it could be there's this thing that nobody, and maybe I'm just making it up, maybe it's just me, maybe all of this is just me, I don't know, nobody talks about it, so I'm here to just bring it up. I have a child that's 12 years old. She's not a baby anymore, but she's not a teenager yet. But it's happening. And of course, there's nothing, you can't do anything to stop it. It's just nature. It's just how it is. And, we get married and we have a child or multiple children, and we get to experience what it's like to have a baby, a toddler, a little kid, a big kid, and one day they wake up and you notice something is different. They're not a baby anymore. And although you're proud of your child, and it's an amazing journey to watch them grow up and become who they are, and to see yourself in them and your husband in them, and just you mourn that the baby's not there anymore and things are different. People say, and your kids don't want to talk to you and they don't want to hug you. But I have made it a point to make sure that, society doesn't take control over my child and her thoughts. And I try to raise a child that, not teaching her to just follow anything that's being taught to her, teaching her how to analyze things that she's learning, and to really challenge it, to think for herself. And so a part of this is having to have moments of digital reset where she doesn't have a phone or an iPad, etc., for a certain amount of time, so she could get back to herself. She can discover what it is that's special about herself and her own talents and develop them. So anyway, I got off topic a little bit, but it is true. There are a lot of challenges with raising a child this day and age. And there are a lot of forces of what you were brought up with and what you have brought your child up, with, trying to challenge that, and that's good. I mean, we all could use a challenge. Challenges are good. Bring you out of your comfort zone and, force you to think of things maybe in a different light, look at things from different angles, which is always important. Because it's dangerous to stay in the same spot, and nature won't allow it to happen. Change is the one thing that is constant, and part of your child changing and getting older, and you having to then come back to yourself, not the person you were before you had a child, but the person that you are becoming now. And that is also a thing that, some women embrace it and they know it, and they, grab life by the horns and they just do what they want. And that's really amazing. But you still know there's a lot of work left to do at home. And you have a family who counts on you, and really there's a lot of weight that goes on your shoulders for women these days. Things are very different than they used to be. I you know, if I had a past life in the 40s or 50s or something like that, I can't remember it. But, you know, households were a lot different. And yeah, there's a lot of pros and cons to the movement of the woman of the house having to go out into the workforce. I understand why it needed to happen. And then there's some times where I feel like maybe the government should allow women in their 40s to become stay-at-home moms whenever they reach their 40s. I'm like, I know that's just some crazy talk, but I feel like it's definitely a time where we have to reanalyze ourselves and really try and figure out who we are again and what it is we're meant to do next in our lives. Because some of us haven't even tapped into all of our talents yet. We don't know what we're meant to do, you know. Some people don't start writing books till they're in their 40s and 50s. Some people don't become who they are until they're older. And it's kind of this weird thing because we are brought up to just having to know, you know, from the moment we graduate high school that we have to pick what it is we're going to do the rest of our lives. And we're not allowed to make mistakes. And now I know that that's not true because sometimes you don't know what you're good at until much later. But, you know, when you can't make a choice, sometimes, you know, life chooses for you. You know, you meet somebody, you fall in love, you get married, you have children. So it's okay. It's okay to not know. But this stage of life is, it's unfair because even still we are, you know, we're not allowed to mess up. We're not allowed to complain. We just end up internalizing everything. And there's a lot of shame with it. And I look at social media and it makes me think a lot. People that I know are unhappy. Not everyone, because I don't know everybody. Or people that I know, things just, they're not what they seem to be. And I don't really know what it is about social media. Is it like a record of your life that you could look back on? Or do you really need those likes and comments and shares for those, like the dopamine hits that you need for your brain? I think that what women need right now, because nobody teaches us about our hormones and what those hormones need throughout your monthly cycle to be produced. And it's like one size fits all plan for everybody, man or woman. You think about all the different approaches to, how you address your health in your 40s. And you think it's still the same as when you were in your 20s. And we are not who we were in our 20s, but we do kind of expect our husbands to just know us so well, to know us better than anybody, and to worship the ground that we walk on because of the sacrifices that we've made, and how we run the household, and we tend to not put ourselves first in many situations, and that is a choice. And we've seen that happen, with our own mothers and their mothers, and we just accept that this is what we do. But then we have this passive aggression with our husbands about what it is they're expected to step up and do. There's a lot of unspoken things that everybody does, men and women, every day, and we don't go around telling everybody, oh, I did this or I did that. But I think that it's unfair for them. And so we just keep building this, this tension up in our marriages, just thinking that they should know by now that I'm tired and they should come do the dishes and tell me how amazing I am and give me a hug. And but they're not brought up to be that way, unfortunately. But there's a couple women my age that I've spoken to within the last few months who have said that they have become so close to divorcing their husbands that they've been with for a very long time. And these are men that I know they're good men, and I know that they're trying. And my husband's a good man, and I know that he tries. And I think it's kind of funny, like if I step back and think about it a little bit, it's like in our 40s, we have become our mothers. And we start treating everybody in our house like they're a child, including our husband. And it's like, well, with all the hormones that we're going through, experiencing these fluctuations, these mood swings and stuff, I'm not in perimenopause. Maybe I am. I don't know. Who knows? Just only me. Only I would know that. I mean, if I go get my hormones tested, maybe I would know that. But whatever. I don't feel like doing that. Not yet. So like I think about like men that they don't, their wife divorces them or whatever, and then they're like, start over again. I'm gonna start dating a 20-year-old. It's just easier. And like years later, I don't even know, I'm sure women regretted how they were and how they started. They took their own life back, but they didn't tell anybody they were doing it. They didn't give any explanations, and they didn't think they needed to, about how their personality changed so much, how it was so hot and cold, and before we're just kind of mellow, and we're getting all the love that we need from our family and being together and our child. And then I guess if we don't sit back and really analyze it and think about it, just kind of, that attachment can just get ripped away from you with your child, wanting to be by themselves more, or, your husband going off to do the things that he's pretty much always done. You just never really noticed that, you weren't getting the attention that you probably need. So I just think that isolation is a bad thing. Time for yourself is good, but isolation is a different thing. And, if you've got many different women, like in and out of your thoughts, it's not like I'm not talking about schizophrenia or multiple personalities. It's just, we all live through different times of our lives, and we have been girls, we have been young women, we've been teenagers, we've been a young adult women, and we have all these experiences, and the voices of those women still are inside of us. We are still all of those women in a lot of ways, and we want to feel all the things that they felt still. And this is what I have learned. It's up to us. We have to communicate with our children, with our husbands, as a family. We have to have a sense of humor about it. We have to be honest. We have to insist upon getting hugs from our husbands and our children, and spending time with people that love us and care about us, and remind us of all the great things that we do and why we deserve to have fun times and to do things that we want to do. And they just want us to be happy. So what if we're not home one night to make dinner because we're out with our friends or doing something that we want to do? They're happy. They're happy that we're going somewhere to fill our cup, and everybody's getting a little bit of a break. People, say, you should take a couple's vacation or whatever. And I feel like, distance makes the heart grow fonder. Sometimes time apart is what you need. But that's nothing anybody ever really says, but it's something that I've come to realize, especially with my husband and I. We work together, we operate a business together. And, you know, it's important to have some space and some breathing room and to collect experiences and memories apart from each other temporarily, and then come back and share. So, you know, sometimes we, in an effort to try not to make a mess and to try to control everything all the time, we end up making a bigger mess. Yeah, I do that all the time, like when I'm cooking or cleaning the kitchen or just cleaning up in general. I think I'm trying to be really efficient and optimize my time, and I end up making a big mess, and it takes me way more time to clean that up than if I were to just stop for a minute and just did things a little bit better. So, I was trying to keep this short because I don't want to be going off too much, because this is my third video where I did take a few notes to try to keep it a little bit more concentrated today, and just to get my point across. So I have been holding myself accountable to make a video every Friday morning and just figure out what it is, gather my thoughts to deliver a video. So, but anyway, you guys have a really great weekend, and thanks for listening to me. I really appreciate it. Bye.